Here we are. I've just sewn everything there. This is the back. So these you can't see very well, but they do add a nice touch. And well, I know they're there, so I quite like them. So this is it for the front of the cover. The back of the cover I'm just gonna leave like this. So now we're gonna deal with this pocket here. So first things first, we're going to make sure we've got everything how it should be. Something like this. And I want to sew the pocket like this, and then I'm gonna glue it onto this because this cover is just too thick to sew through. It's just not gonna be possible, so I'm gonna have to glue it, but I do want to sew this so it looks pretty. So I need to make sure that this is straight and just cut it open. Cut it. Just cut it here and here. Okay. All right, something like this, and I'm going to mark it so that I know that I'm not doing anything stupid. Yeah, that looks good to me. And so I'm gonna sew this somewhere here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave you guys for a second. I'm gonna go and sew it like this, and same here. So what I'm doing so that it looks nice, I'm just doing a little corner like this, and then I'm just folding. And this is a bit thick, but necessary. Okay, so something like this. And it needs to be a bit smaller than the cover, just a smidge. I injured myself while I was washing the dishes. I'm prone to that kind of accidents. Don't worry about me. It's very common, sadly, for me. Done. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's done. Let me just remove these, make it look pretty. And here I forgot to do the starting thing, so I need to make a little knot. So I'm just grabbing the thread, because there's 2 threads when you're sewing with your sewing machine. So I'm just making sure that both of them are at the front or the back. Usually the back, it's just that it didn't work at the back. And I'm just making a knot, triple knot, and then I just got it done. So that's our cover all finished, and now we're going to glue it to the cover. So for that I'm using textile glue, and I'm gonna start with the side. Which side? And I'm gonna use a card to make sure it's all flat and there's no air bubbles. Oh, and I'm also gonna use this to make sure that there's not too much glue, so it doesn't go through. Okay, that should be enough. And now I'm just gonna put it everywhere. You can do this with your fingers. I think fingers means that you feel better what's going on, like how much glue you have. So it's a pretty good idea. I just love my paintbrushes. I'm really used to working with them, so it's whatever you prefer, really. Besides, my fingers just out of, yeah, I can't use it. Okay, that should be fine. So let's just position this how it should be, and then we're gonna put it there. And now this, and use our card. Make sure there's no bubbles. I'm happy because there's no dark spots. Dark spots would mean that the glue has gone through the cloth and it just changes the color. It makes the cloth brittle. It's not too good. I'm really happy with this. Some cloths don't actually change with glue. So if you're a mad gluer, if you like to put quite a lot of glue, then you can just make sure that your glue doesn't change, or your cloth won't change with the glue. I'm just gonna keep on doing this. Perfect fit. it's gone a little bit over what I wanted, but that's okay. It's still pretty straight. I mean, obviously there's been a problem. Maybe I could add like a bit of lace or something here just to make it look a bit more centered. And we're eating a little bit this. Oh well, that happens. It's not a problem. Okay, that's much better. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue all of these except for the pocket that we're gonna do last. So let me just cut over here. So I'm starting with the corners. Like this. So now that this is all stamped, we're gonna move on to preparing the signatures to be glued here. So this is something I got, I think it was this book that I took from here, and I'm just gonna glue it back because I think the color is perfect with the cover. So that's what we're gonna do. For this, I'm gonna use tacky glue. And I'm just going to glue it over here. It has to be this book. I mean, it's the exact perfect size. All right, that looks good. Oh, it's not enough glue, maybe. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna put glue here to make sure that nothing moves. And I'm gonna use tacky glue again. Oh dear. Maybe this is harder to glue than I thought. This is just to secure the knots and the threads so they don't move. All right, next up, I think this paper is just not long enough. It should have gone up to the top and it doesn't, and I think that's a mistake. So I'm gonna glue it, and that will actually secure this as well, which is a good idea. Just making sure it's the same size. Stops right at the same moment, like this, and same on this side. Okay, next we're just going to let this dry. I'm gonna put it upside down like this to dry, so that it presses down onto the paper. Done. And we're gonna cut the paper to cover this. I thought of this because it's the same pad as the signatures inside, and I've put the marks here and here, so it's about 5 millimeters maybe from the top and the bottom, and it's right on the mark here. Oops, actually, let's do that. I'm just gonna cut it like this. And over here. And I'm gonna remove pencil marks. And then the second one is too big. I'm gonna cut off a smidge. We have the pocket anyway, so it's not gonna be visible. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And I'm not gonna ink it. I don't know. Usually I ink everything, but this time I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. It looks pretty good. So next up, we're going to glue this over here. So I'm gonna put a really good amount of glue here. Use my paintbrush as usual. Sorry. And then I'm gonna place it. Let's make sure it's the right way up. Yep. And about 5 millimeters from the top, the bottom, and we need to make sure it's all aligned and straight. And as soon as that's done, we're just gonna let it dry. So I'm gonna let this dry for probably an hour or so. Make sure, you know, like press it down, make sure everything is stuck properly, and then just not move it for like an hour. If you have anything to just clamp it, I don't actually have anything. I'm gonna put like a rubber band, and yeah, I'll see you in a minute and then we'll deal with the rest. All right. Hey, okay, so it's been a couple hours. So this should be glued, I think, pretty well, and it looks good to me. So what we're going to do next is glue this part, this paper here. And before we do that, I'm just gonna cut off a little bit here. Yeah. A little bit here. And same here. It's just so that I'm sure it doesn't peep. Is that a word? And a little bit here. Okay. Next, so I'm gonna be using textile glue where there's textile, and tacky glue where it's not textile. As usual, just making sure it's all covered like this, and using my card like so. I really need a new card. I think I have one somewhere. There we go. Awesome. Okay, don't forget to glue when it's not textile as well. It's important. Right. And next. Okay. I guess I'm just blending. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect at this stage, because this is going to be covered anyways. And this is quite an important part because it's, you know, it's like your security in case this hasn't glued perfectly. So this is just to make sure that you won't get your pages coming off and just staying in your hands. So make sure you do it well. Other side, same story. Okay. Let's glue this first. And then this bit. make sure it's pretty as well. Because this part here is gonna be visible. Sorry, I hit the stand with my really long paintbrush. All right. Yay. Okay. Next step, we're gonna glue the pages that we cut before. Just need to remember, okay, this one is shorter, so that's the one that goes on the side with the pocket. Let's glue the other one first. For no reason, just because it's in front of the camera. So it's easier for me. Okay, so it's gonna be about here. So I'm gonna put textile glue on the textile and then tacky glue where there's no textile. Oops, that's not good. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm dead center. I should have probably made it a little bit bigger. It should be exactly the same size as your signature thing here. Should be the same size. And mine is just a smidge smaller. Oh, this is looking pretty good. And then this one here. Something I should have done before. Okay, the problem with this is I'm just putting tacky glue everywhere because I have no idea where the cloth is. So let's just put some textile glue. Oops. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Well, that's exactly the right amount. A little bit more, maybe. It's perfect. Okay, now let's glue this. Got glue all over my fingers. All right, what do you think? Oh, I'm so happy. This is looking... What is that? Oh, I'm so happy. I'm finally gonna have something where I can put all my stamped stuff. Okay, next up I'm using textile glue, and I'm just gonna glue here on the sides for our pocket. So it's a bit too much. Okay, and then I'm gonna glue it like this, and then I'm gonna put, can I reach them? Yes, they're here. Okay, I've got 2 big ones. So I'm gonna make sure like this, and another one, sorry, here, and then the top here, big one, just making sure I've got everything and it's straight there, and middle one there. It's a tiny bit loose. Oh, it's already stuck. That's pretty impressive. Tiny bit loose, but I think it's fine. Oh my god, guys. I'm so happy. This is looking fantastic. Yeah, I will remove these later in my own time. Do I have a finished stamp? So let's just... Not sure where I will put these. I was thinking somewhere here. Oh, this is looking so nice. Okay, can't wait to show you the end result. Let's just wait for this to dry, and I'll show you the end. See you in a minute.